Welcome to my day 19. So the last 2 days I've been confusing myself saying that it's welcome to day 18 or day 17. I think I said it twice by accident, but I was confusing my days. But I have been making it every day, so just in case you guys are getting a little confusion. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I can't believe the week is already Friday. It does go fast. It's like long but slow, right? It's very cool in a way. We love to love that. Anyways, so sometimes you can see that God is working in your life and that he's just this distant guy that is 1,000 miles up in the air and you can't even see him, and he's just looking down from you from a distance. He's cold and you try to talk to him and there's no answer. And you just feel like you're just voicing your opinion out to the air, like there's no one that hears you. I understand. But I want to read you a verse from Hebrews that goes, "Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen, and its hope in these things unseen." So if I can, just put faith into like a simple phrase, it would be confidence and in things that you cannot see or understand. And this isn't blind faith. Like, we have all these parables and stories and all these lessons, and they're not there for no reason. Like, God wasn't just like, I'm just gonna sprinkle in that for no reason. No, like every single word, there is a purpose behind it. And in that same way, every single lesson that you learn and every single emotion that you feel and every single thought that you have and every single thing that you do and a person that comes into your life, it's for a reason. And there's a purpose behind it. So whether you can understand it or not, right? And just because you can't understand it, it doesn't mean it doesn't have a purpose. And in fact, I would go as far as to say it's because you cannot understand it. Those usually have the greatest purposes of life to shape you, because you can realize you can't lean on your own understanding, but you have to lean on God, or else what? You're gonna fall because you can't understand it anymore, and because you have nothing to lean on, right? And if you don't take God's hand, well, then you'll just be like led into a dark room. Imagine a room that is completely pitch black, and you start to find yourself in a dark room, doors locked, and you just have to find a way out somehow through that pitch black darkness with your own eyes, when you don't even realize there's a lamp right next to you and a matchstick to light it, but you're too afraid to light it because you're too afraid to get burned. And when God leads you into the wilderness, he did not lead you into the wilderness to forsake you. When he leads you into places unknown, into the desert, into places where you need to completely rely on him and his understanding, it's not to rely on your own, you start to realize the places that you can understand the least are the places that transform you the most. I just want to give you a little more background on faith. I have a little point written down from John 7:5. "For even his own brothers did not believe in him. When Jesus was doing all of his miracles and showing signs and wonders, his own siblings, who have known him since they were so small, they didn't even believe in him." They knew about him and they like, oh yeah, he can do miracles or whatever. But there's a difference between knowing Jesus and having faith in Jesus. Everyone can kind of know Jesus, like, oh yeah, he died on the cross, so yeah, whatever. Even atheists believe him, yes, okay. But to have faith in him is something different. And you know what I mean? That when you look around and your world is being turned upside down and you don't know what the heck is happening, where do you look to? Where is your sense of peace? Because a lot of times when we're anxious about things and when we feel like it's all on us and the weight on the religious, like the world is crushing on us, because who are we relying on? ourselves. And when we rely on ourselves, we very quickly see how weak we are. And in that weakness, it's either a time for panic or a time for peace, because we start to realize we have someone else to give it to, right? I want to read you another passage that I didn't plan this, but it just kept coming into my head. This is from my devotional. It says, "Come to me, all who you are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. In our weakness, that is where we will find our strength." And I know it sounds a little corny and it sounds cringe or whatever, but it's the truth, and I don't really care what you think about it. But so the Bible, it tells us the power that rose Jesus from the dead lives within in us, and that's what we call the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is unseen. We cannot see it with our eyes, right? But we can feel it, and we can, and it's a skill as well. Think of God as the sun. If God is the sun, then Jesus is the light, okay? So the Holy Spirit is the warmth that you feel. You can't see it, but it's the warmth that you feel. But also in that nature, there's also night. And there will be times where you can't hear God's voice or you can't see him working, but that doesn't mean that the sun exploded, and the sun will rise again. But when we're in those times of night, who do you trust in? Do you panic and say, "Oh my gosh, it's night outside, it's completely dark and the sun is never coming back"? No. You know that the sun will rise again. So you sleep, you rest, and you trust in it. And it's that kind of faith that there are no signs that the sun is going to rise. It's completely pitch dark outside. Just before the sun rises, the night is the darkest, right? But you don't ask God for sun. You don't ask God, "Is the sun going to rise again?" No, you have faith in things that are unseen. And that is the same faith that we need to approach with everything. Yes, that really just kind of was in my heart that I wanted to share with you guys. You know, like, we need to stop trusting ourselves, but trust in God more. And whatever day, whether it's sun or night, like, we never know if it's going to rise again, or we never know each day of what's going to come, right? We can just only hope and pray that, you know, we get to see a new chance of light. And, you know, so just for that, I am grateful. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed my video or you just like to watch and hear Mina. Anyways, thank you. Love you. Bye.